The Dance of Shadows. From the moment she took her first steps, Alara had always felt overshadowed, a mere afterthought in the grand tapestry of life. Growing up in the tranquil village of Elderglen, she watched her friends train to become mystical wardens, harnessing elemental magic to protect their realm. Yet, for Alara, destiny had cracked her dreams wide open, pairing her at birth with a modest mare, an animal lacking the majestic wings or elemental power of a true warden's steed. But everything changed the day dark creatures invaded their village, seeking a powerful relic hidden in the heart of Elderglen. In that chaos, a vision struck Alara, herself atop an ethereal stallion, clad in shimmering armor, leading a charge against the encroaching shadows. It ignited a long-dormant fire within her, and she resolved to seize her fate, even if it meant embarking on an uncertain journey with Celine, a formidable but fallen warden allied with the very forces looking to destroy her world. Together they would navigate an intricate dance of peril, an adventure that would tether Alara's future to Celine's in unexpected and thrilling ways with each step. As Alara burst through the cobblestone archway leading into the village's grand hall, her heart pounded in rhythm with her raging spirit. Halt! The hall, bathed in the warm golden glow of lanterns, felt like a sanctuary turned battlefield. Gardens of luminescent flowers bordered the marble walls, their sweet fragrance now sullied by the looming threat of dark magic. Across the chamber, Celine stood poised, dark curls cascading over her shoulders, holding her staff upright as a protective barrier between her and the unknown assailants. The light caught her fierce azure eyes, accentuating her ethereal beauty against the chaotic backdrop of the hall. "Who dares intrude?" Celine called, her voice a soft melody laced with steel. Alara took a breath, steadying her trembling hands. "I'm here to protect the relic of Elderglen from the likes of you." Celine raised an eyebrow, amusement flickering amidst the tension. "And you think you can stop me? Do you even know what you're up against?" Alara's resolve hardened. "I may not be a warden, but I refuse to let you take what belongs to my people." Without further thought, she summoned her spirit mare, a shimmering phantom of energy that glided effortlessly beside her. It flared into existence at her side, ready to battle. But Celine wasn't deterred. She raised her staff and summoned a low rumble of wind that swirled around her like a tempest. "Then prepare to be disappointed," Celine declared, magic crackling at her fingertips as she unleashed a blast of shimmering light. Alara dove to the side, rolling across the marbled floor as the wave of energy exploded behind her, sending shards of stone spiraling into the air. Dust danced in the warm glow, but she didn't hesitate. Rising swiftly, she called forth her souled mare spirit with a mental command, directing it to charge at Celine. The phantom galloped toward the dark-haired beauty, but Celine sidestepped like a shadow evading the light, her movements graceful and fluid. "You think you're quick?" Celine taunted, twirling her staff as she called forth a barrier, sending Alara's spirit careening off course. "Quick enough to catch you," Alara shouted, channeling her energy and launching a volley of sparkling shards toward Celine. But Celine deflected them with a flick of her staff, the shards scattering in myriad directions, clattering against the walls. "Is that it, little girl? I expected more from the one protecting this place." Alara's heart raced, caught somewhere between fear and exhilaration. "I may be less than you, but wounds aren't measured by the size of one's title." Celine's expression shifted, the corner of her mouth quirked up in an intrigued grin. "Oh, I like you. It seems you have a fire inside you, after all." Just then, their eyes locked, a spark igniting that was neither magic nor animosity. Alara shook her head, breaking the gaze. "You shouldn't underestimate me just because I'm not a warden," she said, summoning her spirit back for another attack. The battle raged on, filled with magical bolts and shimmering creations of myth and nature. Yet amidst each clash, there was a shared moment, a breath unmarred by the chaos around them, deepening the unspoken connection that flickered between them, the exhilaration sparking the flicker of something more potent than rivalry. As the darkness threatened to consume them both, Alara refused to back down. Little did she know that her journey would lead not just to the relic's protection, but also to uncharted territory in her heart. For in the realm of shadows, where danger and light collided, she would discover the beauty of connecting with someone unexpected, the enchanted dance of love, wrapped in the shrouds of fate and peril. And so her quest entwined with Celine's, each step pulling them closer to the revelation that perhaps they were not so different after all, journeying toward dangers unknown, a dance of shadows and sorcery, leading straight into the heart of conflict and unexpected desire. Continue the story. The Dance of Shadows Part 2. The room, now a whirlwind of energy and chaos, sparked with every magical exchange between Alara and Celine. The air hummed with an electric tension, a palpable force that both exhilarated and terrified Alara. With every maneuver, every spark, she felt the boundary between rivalry and attraction blur. "Why do you fight for this relic?" Celine shouted, her voice slicing through the chaos. She spun her staff, redirecting a shard of magic back toward Alara. "Is it merely duty? Or is there something deeper driving you?" Alara ducked, the sharp energy zipping past her. "It's about my people. They depend on it," she retorted, though she felt a flicker of truth in Celine's inquiry. Was it merely duty compelling her? Or was there something about Celine that drew her in, something wild and intoxicating? Celine's gaze pierced through the dust-filled air, locking onto Alara's. "Duty can drive anyone but passion. That's the real power," Celine challenged, her tone shifting slightly, a softer edge cutting through the tempest. With a fierce determination, Alara lunged forward, closing the distance between them. "You don't understand," she said fiercely. "You've turned your back on our realm. You allied yourself with our enemies. And yet, here you are, charging at me without fear," Celine replied, sidestepping as she parried Alara's spirit mare, the ethereal steed dissipating into clouds of shimmering light. "You face danger with a bravery that deserves more than just a cold heart." Alara halted, breathless as Celine's words sunk in. They shared a fragile moment with the world around them pausing, the air thick with an unshed tension, an adventure waiting to become something utterly transformative. "What are you saying?" Celine stepped closer, an earnest intensity in her eyes. "Your bravery might be what Vanaheim truly needs. You could harness it, wield it as a shield." The edges of her lips curled into a knowing smile that both enticed and unnerved Alara. Alara's heart quickened. "And you think I could be like you? A warden?" Celine's gaze softened. "Perhaps you already are, in your own way." Something shifted in the air, as if the hall itself leaned in to listen. Alara searched Celine's eyes, wondering if that was the spark she had felt deep inside, a potential, a glimmer of an unknown future that beckoned her forward. And there in that moment, everything else faded to a whisper. "Join me then," Alara blurted, drawing closer. "Let's protect Elderglen together. Show me how to harness this." Celine studied her, skepticism dancing in her vibrant eyes. "You trust me? After all that's happened?" "Trust is forged in fire," Alara replied, her voice steady and resolute. "And I've never felt more alive than I do in this moment." A slow, tentative smile blossomed on Celine's lips, but it was her eyes, bright like the clearest skies, that held the promise of something more. "Very well." And just as they began to reach for one another amidst the chaos, the dark horrors surged forward. Shadows twisted from corners, tendrils of darkness lurching out to engulf the heart of Elderglen. "More creatures are coming," Alara shouted, fear mixing with the thrill of battle. With a nod, Celine raised her staff. "Together, then." She gestured as the air shimmered, and together they uncovered latent magic within themselves, channeling elemental powers that rapidly blossomed into a crescent arc of ethereal light. Alara mirrored Celine's movements, their energies intertwining like vines in the forest. The shadows recoiled as radiant light surged forth, illuminating the chamber and the swirling darkness. Their combined efforts rolled like thunder as streams of light lashed out, carving pathways through the dark entities. "We can do this," Alara cried, giddy with the realization that they were more than just combatants in a battle. They were a team, a united force against the encroaching darkness. They dodged, parried, and executed maneuvers so fluid they felt less like combat and more like a mesmerizing dance. Celine laughed, a beautiful sound of liberation that struck against the oppressive veil of shadows. "Let's show them what we're made of." With newfound unity, they fought as one, taking turns to shield each other from blows while striking at tendrils of darkness. The once muted colors of the grand hall pulsed to life around them, illuminating their bravery and strength. Their synergy ignited a passion between them, a fierce energy that coursed through every spell they cast, clashing against darkness. With every blow dealt to the encroaching shadows and every heartbeat shared, the bond between the two grew. As the last shadowy creature fell before them, disintegrating into dust and echoes of lingering darkness, Alara stood breathless, the exhilaration pouring through her. She turned toward Celine, their eyes meeting amidst the mess of the battlefield. "We did it," Alara whispered, awe and joy written all over her face. Celine stepped closer, her gaze fierce yet softening. "No, you did it. I only showed you the way." The warmth in Celine's voice filled the air, casting away the remnants of the struggle. Alara hesitated, swelling with emotions she had not anticipated. "Together we can be a force for Elderglen, for each other," she replied, her heart racing for entirely different reasons now. Celine's expression shifted into something warmer, drawing closer as if magnetized. "And perhaps even more." In that moment, not just as warriors but as allies forging a bond in the fires of need and passion, they came together. What began as a fight grew into a connection that shattered the barriers they had before. The darkness outside faded like whispers in the breeze, and in the lingering light of triumph, they dared to cross a threshold neither had expected. And in the heart of Elderglen, amidst shadows transformed into stardust, their dance of shadows became a dance toward a future entwined, two souls poised to bridle the magic of both battle and love that enveloped them as they ventured further into their shared journey. Continue and end. The Dance of Shadows Part 3. With the remnants of darkness scattering like ash across the grand hall, Alara and Celine stood side by side, their breaths mingling in the cool air. The atmosphere shimmered with the remnants of their magic, a dazzling light pushing away the lingering shadows. "Let's make sure the village is safe," Alara said, her resolve renewed. She could still feel the weight of her responsibility to Elderglen, but now it felt lighter, buoyed by the bond they had forged in battle. Celine nodded, her expression shifting towards determination. "We'll do this together. But first, we have to secure the relic." Together they made their way towards the heart of the hall, where the relic, the shimmering pendant known as the Heart of Light, sat protected by layers of ancient magic. With Celine's expertise, they deciphered the wards protecting it. "You should take it," Celine said, her eyes gleaming with a mixture of pride and affection. "It belongs to your people, and you've shown you deserve it." Alara hesitated for a moment, her hand hovering over the intricately carved surface of the pendant. "But it's only powerful if used in the right hands," she said softly, glancing at Celine. "I couldn't have gotten this far without you." Celine stepped closer, brushing her fingertips against Alara's wrist. The touch ignited a warmth in Alara's chest that spread through her very being. "Then let's ensure it's in the hands of those worthy of its power, together." With newfound determination, Alara clasped her hand around the Heart of Light, and vibrant energy surged through her. The pendant pulsed with warmth and understanding, responding to the bond Alara and Celine had forged, their hearts beating in harmony. At that moment, they knew their path was intertwined, not just in battle but in the journey ahead. A sense of purpose wrapped around them like a shroud. As they made their way out of the hall, Alara turned to Celine, her heart racing more for the woman beside her than the impending tasks at hand. "We have a chance to change everything for Elderglen, don't we?" Celine smiled, her expression tender. "And in doing so, change ourselves." When they stepped into the village, they were met with the astonished faces of their fellow villagers. Murmurs of disbelief and relief cascaded through the crowd as word spread of the darkness that had been vanquished. "Alara! Celine!" The mayor rushed forward, his eyes wide with gratitude. "You've saved us." "The relic, did you manage to secure it?" "We did," Alara replied, holding the Heart of Light high. It radiated a warm glow, illuminating the villagers' faces. "But we couldn't have done it alone. We'll need to work together to ensure this never happens again." Celine stepped forward, weaving her hand through the air, summoning the remnants of magic they had battled. We've learned that strength isn't just in power but in unity and trust. Elderglen will be stronger if we stand together. The villagers erupted into cheers, rallying around Alara and Celine with newfound hope. The bond forged in the heat of battle transformed into a collective resolve, bringing the community together to fortify their defenses for the future. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden light across the village, Alara turned to Celine, warmth filling her chest. It feels different now, doesn't it? The world around us, the energy. Celine nodded, her gaze reflective as she took in the jubilant scenes around them. It's because we're different. We're not just fighting against darkness, we're embracing the light, our light. Alara's heart swelled as she realized the profound change within herself, ignited not only by duty, but by the extraordinary connection she had discovered with Celine. Together, we will watch over Elderglen, Alara said, helplessly captivated by Celine's fierce beauty and unquenchable spirit. Celine leaned closer, her voice low, and we shall venture beyond, seeking the paths that await us. But first, let's enjoy this moment. They reveled in the celebration around them, laughter and joy intertwining with the sense of food and merriment. The villagers invited them to dance, the rhythmic pulse enveloping them. As they joined hands and moved together, Alara felt a deeper connection resonate between them, a bond that magically transcended their previous rivalry. Each movement was a step toward new beginnings, a flourishing of love that melded seamlessly with the harmony of their surroundings. Look there, Alara said, pointing towards the horizon where the last traces of sunlight melted into twilight. A white crescent moon hung low in the sky, casting celestial light upon them. Celine followed her gaze, her heart full as she whispered, a promise of new journeys. Alara squeezed Celine's hand, their fingers entwining, a warm pulse of unity echoing between them. Together we'll explore what lies beyond our borders. As the night deepened, they wrapped themselves in each other's embrace, knowing that their journey had only just begun. The world around them pulsed with vibrant life, and in that moment of stillness, they knew that whatever darkness might come, they would face it side by side, their hearts alight with both love and purpose. As the stars shone down upon them, illuminating their path, Alara felt a sense of belonging unfurl within her, a promise of hope, possibility, and an unbreakable bond. The dance of shadows had led them here, to a future shimmering with potential, and within that light they would brave the night. Together. Always.